described as Devi. See, Kal Sangya means name. This Devi called Kal. Why the Devi is called here? Kal is also the energy of the Lord. Okay? Kal is also Shakti. Shakti can be called a Devi. Or since the Kal brings about destruction, which Devi destroys? Kali. So the Prabhupada has just given the name Kali. Although the literal translation and Chakravarti Pal doesn't use the word Kali, but Prabhupada has kind of to give a simple understanding. But this Kal has been called as a Devi over here. Right? Kal Devi. Devi in terms of what we understand is the Kal Shakti. Again, the Lord as Kal Shakti, which Prabhupada named as Kali for our understanding. Lord entered. The Lord entered. By his Shakti, when he entered, then again the elements start to combine. The elements start to amalgamate. Just like in our body, earth, water, fire, ether have amalgamated. How do they combine together? It's not. They have combined by the Shakti of the Lord. These elements mixed together in proportion to give rise to various forms, all by the Shakti of the Lord. Okay, so the Lord facilitated this amalgamation.
So this is the second time Kal is entering.
Kal continues to act. So in between, at every stage the Kal is acting. During the creation, maintenance, destruction, Kal is chakra. Kal never stops. Kal is continuously acting.
The Lord is continuing to
That by his energy, Kala Shakti, everything is going on in the material world. Okay, but it's suspend. The elements are not combining. Then, okay, now who are these elemental devatas? They are created by the Lord even before the Brahma was born. Let me discuss that. They appeared before elemental devatas. So these elemental devatas, they are described as Vishnu Kala. Vishnu Kala, because they take charge of this material energy in terms of elements. In terms of different elements, material energy is present. They take charge of this as a representative of the Lord. Devata is the representative of the Lord. As a representative of the Lord, they take charge of these elements. So therefore they are described as the Lord's expansions, Vishnu Kala. But they are all, primarily they all are jivas. Primarily they are all jivas, these elemental devatas. And how they are able to pray is mentioned that actually they know as yet just the elements are being created, they haven't combined together and so on. How they are able to pray, they received the senses to pray at that point of time, so they wanted to pray. They received the suitable senses, these elemental devatas, to offer their prayers just for that point of time. And later they will be given once again the Brahman will give these devatas the facilities. Their gross form, etc. will be given later by Brahma. But at that point of time, to offer prayers by the Shakti of the Lord, they were able to manifest the senses and pray.
Only just the senses?
Yeah, they require the form to pray, the mouth. I think the senses are required, right?
But the actual form hasn't been created yet?
No, they were not created yet.
So
but the devatas were assigned. The devatas, the responsibility was assigned, but they didn't have the gross form to be able to function. Brahmaji will give the gross form.
So they're praying in just their senses?
So therefore for them to be able to pray, they temporarily manifested the senses to pray, or the form to pray, to make a prayer, and then again disappeared.
That was subtle or gross matter?
Mentioned they manifested the senses. manifested the senses, and they were able to pray.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So Vishwanath Thakur has given that comment. Yes.
When sense devatas were praying, there were no living entity exist, right?
No, there was no one at that point of time.
In their prayer, they pray.
No living entities were there, they were all dormant. Mahatattva and all that, living has been injected. Living has been injected. But as of now, they haven't received the senses, the form,
Yeah.
they haven't received yet.
Then how
The
come?
subtle and the gross bodies.
How come in the prayers they pray about the sages and the living entities? They are attached to the family line
Oh, they have the knowledge
from the other universe, or
from their previous past, from the past experience. They have the knowledge. They have the knowledge because creation is a cyclic thing. So they manifested their senses to offer prayers, and then again those senses disappeared. And again during Brahma's creation they will receive.
The Vedas and all were imparted by the Lord to them. But they mention about the Vedas, about the Ganges coming.
Whatever is their experience, this creation takes place every time, no? So they have experienced previous creation.
Okay, and they got remembrance from the past.
Yeah, the Lord gives the remembrance. Again, they are going to perform the functions. So they got the remembrance, they got the senses. They offer the praise.
And Ganges Prabhu comes in every creation when Ganges comes.
And how did we go to the Ganges?
They are praying about the Ganges.
But we are in the creation. Ganges is also there. Ganges is in the spiritual world also. And it descends to heavenly planets, earthly planets, and it's Tripataka and goes to the lower planets also. Ganges is always there.
Other creations also.
Ganges, at least Ganges is mentioned to be in our creation. Ganges is always there. It's eternal river. Ganga Yamuna, they eternally exist. How it manifests, time it manifests could be different. Okay, so the elemental devatas temporarily they manifested their senses to be able to offer prayers. And then again those senses disappeared, the Lord accepted the prayers, and then the Lord facilitated. Then he entered, as mentioned, the Supreme Lord, he entered the 23 elements as Kala Shakti, which Prabhupada says Goddess Kali over here. So the Lord entered along with this Kala Shakti, and then further, text 3.
thus, when the personality of Godhead entered into the elements by his energy, all the living entities were enlivened into different activities, just as one is engaged in his work after awakening from sleep.
So just like the Kala Shakti caused the cohesion, now the Lord is entering, the Lord has entered. The Kala Shakti caused the cohesion, and the Kriya Shakti is mentioned over here, Kriya Shakti, Cheshta Rupen. So specifically, the Kriya Shakti of the Lord then awakened the dormant karmas of the jivas at this stage.
Can you repeat, Prabhuji?
The Kriya Shakti of the Lord awakened the dormant karmas of the jivas. That is text 3. And Prabhupada, what is saying? All the living entities were enlivened into different activities. Activities haven't yet begun, but they will be. Like the karmas have been, the dormant karmas have been awakened. So see, again we can't take the literal meaning of the translation here. It means it will happen. Since the karmas have been awakened, living entities will start functioning. But as of now, the living entities haven't received their gross bodies, even the subtle senses and so on.
Is this like the behavior, the sense perceptions, the samskaras, things like that, the impressions that they have?
So the living entities are having karma and svabhava. That karma is dormant. But that karma has been activated, that's it.
from
the dormant, it has become activated. At this stage by the Lord. The living entities are still there. They are there in existing in Mahatattva. Right?
is that the Sanchit karma?
Huh?
The Sanchit karma.
Well, accumulated karma, there's a dormant, like nothing was happening during the night of Brahma.
No, as in the karma that they received, that is this the karma that they would then be?
The sum total of all the karma in millions of lifetimes.
Oh, the whole Sarpana?
Yeah, whole karma is complete by the karma.
Okay.
Right? So all the karma was dormant during the night of Brahma, or during when the Brahma was not there, and then it is awakened. That karma, dormant karma is activated. That's it. They haven't yet started functioning. Activation process is taking place. Activation. Different things are activated. Then they will receive the gross body and so on and so forth. Just that the karma has been awakened by the Lord by entering.
You said Kriya Shakti, right?
Kriya Shakti.
The Kriya Shakti is that which is produced from passion. That Kriya Shakti you are talking about, or this is different?
This is the Kriya Shakti which gives facility to which facility for the Jiva to act. Yeah, it would be the same Kriya Shakti of the Lord. But that Shakti is basically being created for the Jivas to act. And the Lord has his own Kriya Shakti also.
Okay.
So either way you can take the Kriya Shakti of the Lord awakens the dormant karma of the Jiva. That's the only thing mentioned over here. Text 4.
When the 23 principal elements were set in action by the will of the Supreme, the gigantic universal form of the visual body of the Lord came into existence.
Okay, so now these 23 principal elements, you may say 23 or 24 or 25 or 26 or 27, different mentions or different. So the 23 elements now combined, all these different elements combined. What are these 23 elements? See, the elements, there is, first of all, you can say 5 gross elements, right? We can begin 5 into 4. There are 5, there are 4 set of 5 each. 5 gross elements, you know that, right? 5 objects of tanmatras. I just write tanmatras. We know the tanmatras are the subtle counterparts. Tanmatras are subtle counterparts. Sound, form, touch, so on. Tanmatras are 5. Then the 5 working senses that you also know. Then there are 5 knowledge senses. There is no contradiction between these 20. 20 are straight. Then there are some differences at different places. So, next one, 23, I would just put, for the sake of simplicity, mind, intelligence and false ego. Just for the sake of simplicity. And ahankar or false ego. Okay, this 23, simple. It's quite simple, it's very straightforward. 4 groups of 5, not difficult to remember. Gross element, the counterpart, subtle elements, working senses, knowledge senses, mind, intelligence, false ego. 23. Now, it said that the mind and avyakta are correlated. Avyakta, total prakriti. There is a correlation between the two. Mind is related to avyakta. Avyakta is what? Prakriti. Prakriti which is not yet, it has not yet manifested. It is a subtle, sum total of all. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says Because the mind can, something which is avyakta, can still be perceived through the mind. Mind can conceive something which is not visible. Is it not? With the help of mind, avyakta can be conceived and be thought of. So therefore the avyakta and the mind, there is a correlation between the two. Avyakta is also called pradhan, we also said pradhan. So what happens is, this is the cause, this is the effect also, everything comes from pradhan. This is the cause, this is the effect. Mind is the effect. The cause is present in the effect. There is a correlation. They can be counted as 1 and they can be counted as 2 at times. There is no hard and fast rule in counting, that you must understand. Similarly, intelligence has a correlation with Mahatattva. Mahatattva. Therefore, intelligence and Mahatattva can be counted, only one of them can be counted, or both can be counted separately. There is no hard and fast rule. I can put them as 2 elements or just 1 element, or I could mention only intelligence or I could mention only Mahatattva. That's it. If you understand this much, elements are done.
Can you explain the second one, intelligent Mahatattva, how? Because mind can analyze the avyakta and manifest.
Yeah, this Mahatattva is just the cause and effect. I directly didn't get the reason of how the Mahatattva is correlated with the intelligence. Maybe I just have to look at once again into it. This is indicated how the mind can perceive the avyakta, they are related. Intelligence is correlated with Mahatattva. Mahatattva element is present in the intelligence.
Is it because it's subtle? So the intelligence is subtle as well, no?
I mean, everything is subtle at that way, but there is a correlation. At this point of time, we can accept that there is a mind, Mahatattva and intelligence have a correlation. So therefore, these two can be counted separately or they can be counted as 1. These two can be counted separately, they can be counted as 1. Now in this 23 elements, over here in this chapter 5555, mind is counted as, Mahatattva is counted and Ahankar is counted. These 3 are counted, intelligence is not counted. But intelligence can be counted. When it becomes 24, if you include pradhan, mind, Mahatattva, ego, it becomes 24. I mean, you can, as I said, you can count 1 or 2. As soon as you count the other one, it becomes 24. Krishna says there are 24 in Bhagavad Gita. Mahabhutani Ahankaro.
24.
24 elements.
Yes, 24.
Krishna says there are 24 elements. So he just counts pradhan and mind separately.
24. Not conscious, huh?
Consciousness is not counted. Only these are the 25 elements. There are 25, they can be counted as 23, they can be counted as 24. At times they may even be counted as 25.
Time.
Sometimes they can even count as 25. Lord Kapila counts them as 25.
What's the reason for the intelligence being replaced by Mahatattva?
That's what I'm saying. There is a correlation, that's all. And what is the exact correlation? It's not yet clear to me. I'll see if that becomes clear. I'll see little more tomorrow if I can shed more light on this. But this is like he says, what is the avyakta can be perceived through the mind, so they are correlated. But what is the correlation between Mahatattva and intelligence is not yet clear. But the whole point is, I can count them as 2 or 1, therefore the elements can be 23 or 24 or 25. They are material elements. Fine? Okay, apart from this 23 or 24 or 25, I said 23, 24 or 25, what are the other elements apart from this? In the soul or the kala, before that the kala. the Kala. Then again another element, Jiva. Then Ishvara. They are also counted as elements in the overall scenario. Although they are not elements of Prakriti. These are the elements of Prakriti. But beyond the Prakriti, there are elements of Kala, Jiva and Ishvara. It's like this Sankhya is only counting up to here, Sankhya, material nature. But beyond, devotional Sankhya, right? Is could Kala, Jiva and Ishvara could also be counted.
In terms of Vishwa, you mean Krishna or Brahma?
Huh?
Krishna.
Sorry?
Ishwara.
Kala also.
Ishvara means the Supreme Lord. Kala, Jiva, Ishvara can be counted as one element. So there is reference of 28 elements also. You know, the devotional Sankhya. One is okay, so 23 or 24 or 25, 26, 27, 28.
This is the devotional Sankhya of 28.
Yeah, Kala, Jiva, Ishvara.
No, Krishna.
No, 25, 26, 27, 28. Up to 28.
Krishna says mind, false ego, Mahatma. Which one? Avyakta or Mahatma?
Open the verse, Mahabhutani Ahankaro. Krishna counts 24. Avyakta, he counts, probably mostly he counts mind and Avyakta separately.
Mahatma.
Read the translation of 13.6 and 7. Read the translation loudly.
The five elements, false ego, intelligence and the unmanifested.
Unmanifested is Avyakta. Intelligence is counted by the Lord, but mind and Avyakta are counted. So Krishna counts this 20, these are common. He counts Avyakta, mind, intelligence and false ego. 24. So 23, 24, 25, they all are correct. Yeah, they are different, it's just a different way of counting. That's how it is.
Oh, what about consciousness? Many times the word consciousness is also mentioned as an element.
Antahakaran, consciousness is mentioned, but consciousness is not directly counted as again said. Consciousness, as we said, the symptom of the soul, something like that. So when you have, the jiva, the consciousness come along with it in the devotional sankhya. Like that. Okay, so the 23 elements counted here as mind, Mahatattva and false ego. I have highlighted what is counted here. What is counted by Krishna is Avyakta, mind, intelligence and false ego. You just keep this in mind, and wherever there is counting, you can refer to this chart and it will be clear. Okay, so these elements have combined together to give rise to gigantic universal form or Vishwarupa of the Lord. These elements combined. Vishwarupa of the Lord. So, what do you understand? What is this Vishwarupa? Now, discussion about the Vishwarupa a little bit. We will need some more pages. Would you like? Okay, put it. Yeah, better put it. 4-5 pages you can put it.
You could turn the papers around actually.
Hmm?
You could turn the papers the other way around.
That can also be done, but it will not be very clear. If there is a lot of, it will be like this. It will not, clarity won't be there. Thin paper.
Too much English.
If you won't be able to, at times it will be confusing.
13.6.
Okay, so what is this Virat Rupa of the Lord? So Virat Rupa, all the elements combine to form a Virat Rupa. Is this Virat Rupa factual or is this imaginary? That is the first question. Is it factual or is it imaginary?
It's imaginary.
Factual.
Imaginary. Huh?
It's imaginary.
Imaginary.
One and different.
Sorry?
One and different.
One and different. Means it's factual also, imaginary also.
The elements are factual, but the implication is imaginary.
The combination is imaginary. The elements are factual. Okay?
Factual.
Factual.
It's imaginary, but it's imaginary, but the composition of it, like the components of what make it imaginary, is factual, but it's an imaginary representation of something.
Okay, imaginary representation of something.
Okay, it's imaginary, but the functional is factual. I mean, like Archa Vigraha, it leads one to the Lord. So this imaginary form leads one to understanding the Supreme. That way it is factual.
It's a medium form.
Okay, it's imagined, but functionally it is real.
Yes, functionally
Functionally it is real.
yes.
Functionally it is real.
That's
So
real
this is a
job.
very good point. Functionally it is real. Okay? So how it is factual, how it is imaginary, how functionally how it acts and all that. Is this body, let's say Virat Rupa. There is a correlation between our body and the universal body. Virat Rupa is the universal form. Right? Universal form. What our body? Is this factual or is imaginary?
Factual.
Is this body factual or imaginary?
Factual.
It's factual.
In present time, yes. In
It's
the
factual.
future,
Is this body factual or imaginary?
Factual.
Factual. Anyone says this body is imaginary? Yes.
In total sense, it's imaginary.
Total means
Means
on internet.
such eternal sense, it's
in
imaginary.
the eternal, in the ultimate sense. In the ultimate sense. See, the Sat. This therefore is said in this material world. Everything takes the nature of both Sat and Sat. Takes the nature of both material world. Okay, so is this body factual? We are talking of our body, our body. It is factual. How is it factual? It takes the nature of both, as I said. How it is factual? Because it is coming from the energy of the Lord. Energy of the Lord is factual. But what is imaginary is I am the body. That is one thing which is imaginary. Okay, I am the body is imaginary. What else is imaginary in the sense body is temporary. Because it manifests temporarily. Therefore, the scripture describes that